John Oldag is all too familiar with the Austin traffic problems. He's lived here for the past 10 years, and as a pedicab driver, that traffic makes his job tough.
From time to time, it's made it hard to get through an intersection.
However, John has noticed a difference in traffic because of these new signs downtown. Don't block the box. It means when cars get stuck in an intersection after the light turns red, causing traffic to back up. And that's exactly what the city of Austin doesn't want.
The whole purpose of this is to get people to pay attention to what's going on and to change their behavior, not block that box, allow cars to continue to go.
Police have already started heavily enforcing the campaign downtown. In just 1 week, APD has issued more than 350 tickets, and that has some Austin drivers thinking more cautiously.
I guess it makes me a little nervous, like, oh shoot, I hope I don't do that on accident. But in general, I mean, at least they're doing something proactive to help stem the flow.
It's not about writing citations. It's about changing behavior to make sure that everybody is coexisting on the roadway.
Something John hopes Austin drivers will keep in mind.
Austin is, it's got a reputation for being one of the friendliest places in the country. It would be nice if people would share a little more on the road.
Joanna, Lyles, Texas News Watch.
It's this protest. It's this national protest, and we're wearing black because we are showing, it's a symbol for grief. Grief for the 43 missing students and all the other people who have been missing and who have been killed in Mexico because of all this corruption, of all this madness that's going on with our government.
Mexico is kind of going through like a little revolution, and we're here in the United States not knowing anything about it. We're all worried about what Obama's doing. He's overstepping power, and nobody's paying attention to what's happening like to our neighbors down south. We're all about protecting the border, but we're not doing anything to actually protect the people down there. Here in the United States, we're very protected from like human rights violations, but not everyone is as privileged as we are. And so in order to advance like those human rights in other countries, we have to be aware that they're happening, and we have to do something to stop them.
The issue is not being covered in the mainstream news here in the United States, so the only way that we found out about it was searching for ourselves, and so it's really difficult for us to know what can we do, but the main thing that we could do is spread awareness in social media.
Even though we're not boycotting here because we can't, we want to show some support by dressing black.
As a community, as the Mexican community, we're tired of the forced disappearances, of the impunity in Mexico, of the social injustice. We want to make the voices in Mexico stronger and hopefully bring out change, even if it's little or a big change. A change is enough.
Hidden in the Soco district, you'll find something that looks straight out of a fairy tale. James Talbot's 3-story piece of art used to look like this, just a simple 1-story house. And that's why Casa Neverland is considered one of Austin's weirdest homes.
My version of Austin weirdness happens to have this eclectic army brat look to it, kind of exotic counterculture.
At the front door, you'll see xylophones in place of a doorbell, colorful mosaic tiles adorned inside and out, and if you look closely, you'll even spot a few hideaways, plus a footbridge that connects to a 35-foot tower. These are just some of the features that draw hundreds of spectators to this Neverland-inspired eco-funhouse. But lately, Talbot says he feels like he is one of the few weird Austinites left, and that Austin weirdness has just become another sales pitch.
It's wrong when you sell Austin as a weird place, but everything in place that spurs its growth is anything but that.
Austin keeps growing, and with more people comes more development.
They're not building weird. You know, that happens from the inside out, and you can tell when it's done from the outside in.
Talbot worries he and other true believers of Keep Austin Weird will eventually be pushed out.
We have a few, hangers-on. We have the Cathedral of Junk, and, we have a few stores on South Congress that are original. But most of them, the pressures of the real estate market are such that they just can't afford to be there.
Joanna Lyles, Texas News Watch.
If you've seen bikes hauling big bins of compost through East Austin, there's only one group responsible. The East Side Compost Peddlers are a bike-powered compost recycling program that aims to reduce waste by using zero fossil fuels.
The thing I'm proud of, I would say most, is the fact that we've kept out hundreds of thousands of pounds from landfills, and it's just gone right back into farms, which it then turns into more food. So it just keeps the cycle going.
Here's how it works. Members are given a green bin to toss any food scraps, which they call scrapple. Once a week during the collection route, a peddler will stop by the home or business to collect that scrapple. The bike has the ability to carry up to 800 pounds of compost.
We're going to start at this end.
Okay.
And we're going to water all the way along where we just planted, so all the way.
We really like the loop process that they talk about, and being a part of the community and recognizing our connection to each other as community members, but also to the land. So yeah, we're very grateful for their service.
We're on the cusp of something really big with composting right now. It's really going to be the next recycling movement, and hopefully everybody will be composting, not just with us, but on their own in the future.
Compost Peddlers has already started to spread from the east side to central parts of Austin. Their long-term goal is to expand all over the city. Joanna Lyles, Texas News Watch.
Neon clothes, fanny packs, and loud music, signs that it's that time of year when thousands of college students flood the streets of West Campus for Roundup, the largest UT Greek event. But it's the big crowds that caused several problems.
I've just been walking around West Campus for ever, all afternoon. And every party we went to has been shut down at capacity, so they're not letting anybody in.
While sororities host events to profit their philanthropies, fraternity parties with big-name performers such as Riff Raff and Tyga are the main draw for students. But with too many people in attendance, several parties were over capacity, and fire marshals shut them down.
Whenever you are putting on an event, you do have some responsibility to the people attending your event to provide them a safe atmosphere. So if you violate the conditions of your permit and you're putting someone in danger, then the citation is warranted.
We were disappointed to see that, but it wasn't too surprising that they were shut down. I know Sigma Chi particularly spent a good amount, thousands and thousands of dollars on Tyga, a rap artist, and I don't even think he was able to go on stage at all.
Although Roundup tends to be a very popular event, not everyone is a fan, particularly other residents who also live in the area. Some even say they are glad the events were cut short.
I'm glad that they canceled it because it would have been a lot worse, I think, than it is now.
11 citations were given out over the Roundup weekend for overcrowding and blocked exits. The fines can range up to about $600. Joanna Lyles, Texas News Watch.
Superman was adopted. Batman was raised by the butler. Spider-Man was raised by his aunt and uncle. They didn't grow up in traditional families. They became superheroes. So we want every child, no matter what their circumstances growing up, to be able to become a superhero adult someday. We're trying to give them a chance at that successful future. CASA stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates, and what we do is we train volunteers to advocate for children who've been abused or neglected and are now in the Child Protective Services court system. And we speak up for their best interests, make sure that their needs are remaining a priority in a system that's really overburdened.
It's a wonderful organization that takes everyday people who decide that when times are tough, they can help, and that's what makes them into heroes.
I think it's a great way for citizens to be involved in not only the court system, but also in taking care of these kids. It's very important to our community because these kids are going to be our future, right? I mean, in 10 years, this kid might be president, governor, nobody knows, right?
Great job. Good job.
The meeting is really about that kind of concept of giving every child a chance to become a superhero and making it easy for the community to connect with an issue that's tough. Child abuse is not something that we find easy to talk about, but we saw these people out here and they're able to connect with our cause and help kids because of a superhero theme. So it really means a lot to us.
It's kind of epitomizes Austin to me, helping everybody out and just doing something fun. So I've always loved this event.
We're here to encourage people to continue the journey and keep going, because this is an important journey. Needs to be finished.